Thanks, Max. Nuno, hi, hear you well?
Thank you, Ian. You okay?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Look, in the last hour or so, Roy Hodgson has made it clear that he's going to leave Crystal Palace at the end of the season. He wants to step away from the rigours of Premier League football. I wonder what you, as a fellow Premier League coach, make of the news.
First, it's sad to see Roy leave because he's a fantastic manager, a wonderful person, someone that I really admire. Just wish him all the best. And it's been a pleasure, a real pleasure. Every time we faced each other was always something that I was really pleased to be involved because he's a gentleman.
Does he leave a big hole, not just at Crystal Palace, but in football in a wider sense?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does, because he's someone really special. All the experience, so many years involved in the game, all the knowledge. You'll leave. All be sad to see him leave.
Recently, you were encouraging English coaches, young English coaches, to go to other countries to get experience. Well, Roy did that as a coach when earlier in his career. Is he the perfect example for younger English coaches to follow?
I believe so. He was involved in big clubs and in different countries, and I had a chance to express my opinion. I truly believe that you changing to a different culture, to be involved in a different environment, makes you richer as a person and naturally as a manager. So I think Roy is an example of most that. I think the greatest example that he leaves and he means to all of us managers is the way and the respect that he has to all the people involved in the game. It's been a real pleasure.
Can you see yourself doing this job at his age?
I don't know. I'm a very simple person. I look only to the present, what is, and tomorrow.
Let's talk about Wolves. Give us an update on Raúl Jiménez. You said that he was seeing a specialist today. How optimistic are you?
Yeah, as we speak, is in the meeting with the specialist and also with our doctor. As we speak, I believe that is now. Hopefully, we'll have positive news during this afternoon, and from there we'll decide and see what is the best decision to make, and how is Raúl going to be involved. But as we speak, is being now with the specialist.
If it is positive news, and we all hope that it is, of course, how ready do you sense that he is?
He's well. He's training well. Even today, he had a training session that he was involved, and he's well. His fitness is good, but we have to be patient, like you say. Let's wait for this this afternoon, so we decide, because there's a lot of things that we must consider and be really careful.
Would you even consider him for the match against Everton? Just being involved, just being part of the match day squad?
Something that I don't think now, that we decide now, because we are waiting for this moment. Like I mentioned, as we speak, after that, we'll see. But we depart Compton from 5:00, so probably 4. So let's wait. But first, let's hope for the best.
Sure. Look, just how keen is he to play?
I imagine a lot, because this is the way he works, the way he's involved in a training session. I think more important is to see Raúl the way we see him, totally fit, no no problems at all. Happy, enjoying the training sessions, and patient, and waiting for all the things to go well. So I believe that he wants to play, but he has to be patient, like all of us.
How is Daniel Podence? He was due for surgery on Sunday. Did that all go according to plan?
Yes, was yesterday. Was yesterday. It went well, and now is about him recovering. We hope that he'll be fit for the beginning of August. So is more or less the schedule that we have for Daniel. Yes.
As far as your team news is concerned for the match against Everton, do you have any new problems? Did everyone come through the match against Spurs okay?
Yeah, like always, there's always issues and some things that we have to attend. 3 games in a short period of time, intense games that we have. We don't have all the players available, like you say. Pedro is away. Johnny. We have problems. Owen, and then we'll assess all the players and we'll decide who starts tomorrow.
And Theo Cubiano, who came on and made his debut for you at the weekend, did he pick up a problem in the under-23s or is he okay?
No, he's not going to be involved. All the youngest players play yesterday, so tomorrow is the second day after the game, so they will not be involved. So only the senior players will join the group for the game against Everton.
You said after the match against Spurs, you had to solve your defensive issues and you had to solve them immediately. How much has that been a focus of your attention at the training ground over the last 2 days?
Yeah, we trained yesterday. We prepared the game, and not much time, but let's try to pass all the infos to the players to try and solve the problems that we had. But we have to make the balance of how we're doing things, what is our idea. Of course, we allowed too many shots against Tottenham, they had a lot of shots. At the same time, we had a lot of shots also in our offensive process. So it's trying to find this balance in these remaining 2 games that enables the team to compete well, more solid, more compact, but at the same time with the talent and offensive things that we've been trying to produce. So let's try to find this balance and perform well.
Are you confident that you can find that balance and be better for these 2 remaining matches then?
Of course. We've been doing things well. Sometimes the results is only things that take us away. When you look at the game by himself, the previous game against Brighton, all the youth, all the different things that we are trying, and the players are giving good answers, but at the same time, we defensively not so much compact. We allow too many offensive situations. We have to improve on that aspect. But I'm really confident that finding this balance is what we want to achieve, so we can prepare better for the future.
And these final 2 matches will be played in front of fans. Listen, it gives the fans a huge boost to be going. Does it give everyone a lift? Does it matter for the players, for you, for everyone?
For everyone, it's huge. Finally, and we're gonna have fans tomorrow, Everton fans. Then we're gonna have our own fans that only know. It's a big moment for everybody. Big moment. The returning of fans is the best thing that can happen to the game, and it looks like it's gonna happen. And hopefully next season is gonna be better than ever.
Nuno, thank you. Lovely to speak with you. Wish you well. Safe journey.
Thank you.
Hello, Nuno. You okay?
Hello, Nas. Okay.
Nuno, after the Tottenham game, you mentioned that the team were missing discipline and organisation and aggression during parts of that game. Is that disappointing? Because those are the 3 things that have been pretty much ever present since you arrived at the club. It's something that your teams have always had. Was that just slightly disappointing that those things weren't there against Tottenham?
Yeah, it's very disappointing, especially in the way we approach our shape in the moment of the first goal. For me, it's really, really frustrating to see one pass breaking all the lines of the team. So that showed that we were not organized. There was lack of focus and discipline, because it's clearly a moment that we can avoid and do better. Like I said to you, I think was when the opponent makes fantastic movement, fantastic combinations, we must accept and applaud. But that was not the case. That was not the case. We should be much, much, much organized. And like you mentioned, it's one of our biggest foundations that we cannot afford to lose.
What are you expecting from Everton as well? They had a setback in their last game. Their home form has been sort of patchy this season. What are you expecting from Carlo and Everton tomorrow?
A tough match. A very good opponent. Talent squad. Always good to go into Everton. It's always difficult. And with fans, more difficult also. So let's prepare ourselves well and let's compete much better tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
In recent weeks, we've seen Morgan obviously score. Theo played in the last game. How much are you looking forward to working with these players in the future months and years and helping them develop? Because you've got some talent there that can be nurtured, haven't you?
Yeah, we work on a daily basis. Our only priority since we arrived was always to improve the players. It's always the main focus of our work. Since we arrived in the championship, we're always trying to look at players. How can we develop? How can we improve them? Because this will allow us to improve as a team, to improve as a club. So the main focus is on the player. And no matter which age he has, no matter which background he has, you just have to look at him and realize what are the aspects that you can improve. And we have a lot of young players. We always has. All the seasons were based on a mix of experienced and youth players. And we have, of course, with the circumstances that has occurred, the players that are out, these young players are having minutes, and it's the best way to improve. It's the best way. It's to compete, to play the games against tough opponents, going from Brighton to Tottenham, now Everton. So, and then Man U, all this growing process in terms of competition is what makes the players better.
I want to mention a couple of players that were in the squad didn't get any minutes against Tottenham. Are we likely to see Fernando, Marçal and Willy Bolly get some minutes tomorrow or potentially Sunday?
Let's see. Marçal is returning from a long moment of that he was out. We have to be careful. With Marçal because of what happened before. We have to manage. And Willy is much better. Bolly is much better. So let's see. But looking back at these games, all the players had minutes. So this gives a good chance to find the best approach for these two games in particular, Everton and Man U. Probably all the players will have minutes. Let's try and do it.
Nuno, thank you. Best of luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Nats. Thank you.
Hello, Nuno. Nice to see you. Working with those younger players you've just been talking about, what is the situation with the academy? Have you still had to have more of them sort of working with you? Because I know the academy weren't able to be there all the way through the year for the reasons we know. Are things getting more back to normal in that way now?
Yeah, it's getting back to normal, but not as we wish and we like, due to the restrictions and the protocols of the COVID, the testing times. Sometimes the young players are with us, then they have to participate in a match with the under 23, then they have to retest again, so they are not able to join. And this year has been tough on that aspect because the backup of the under 23s was always very important for us. So what we did was to restrict the group and almost create a small group inside the under 23s that always are involved with us as long as they can. So it's not being the same thing. But it's basic for our philosophy on the training sessions that we have numbers with the under 23s.
Yes, I see that. When you're sort of encouraging these players on and bringing them forward, I wonder sometimes if you're pointing out things to them in their game or getting them to develop in ways that they aren't expecting. You know, you're asking them to play in different sort of positions. We've seen that a little bit with some of the seniors, like, you know, obviously Cody when he first arrived, and you've used Adama Traore in different ways. Does that work with the youngsters too?
Yes, it does. It does, because it gives them more options to grow. But look, Mike, a young player, you have to really be careful on the analysis.
Sure.
and be fair. What I say, for example, Theo has a big talent. You can see when he's involved in training sessions, when he's playing with the under-23s, but the level of the opponents are different. And Theo came out against Tottenham with all the joy that he has, with all the will and desire that he has to do things, and he found himself involved in a high level of opponents, and we can see that the lack of things that are still missing there. So that's why I'm very patient and very careful when I know what the players can become, but I'm also aware which are the moments and which are the steps that we have to take on these young players. And it's basic for their development that we keep insisting and sustaining and giving confidence to these young players. Not only Theo, we're talking about Fabio, Key, Ryan, Owen, Morgan. We have a lot of young players that now are experienced over and over again what is to play game after game and grace on your own mistakes. So this is how we approach the youth, with really patience and looking without making any kind of mistakes.
Yes.
We have to be fair.
Yeah, and I guess just briefly, that you said confidence there, and I bet that's just as important as bringing on their skills, because we also, Theo, to use your example, and you know that was a terrific experience for him at the weekend. But I'm sure at the same time, it's also not a shock, but it's quite a test for him to come off the field having been up against that for the first time.
Yeah, that was that. But and you analyze and you look at the performance of Theo, was 15 minutes, and he made mistakes. But I'm here to say to him, I understand your mistakes. I can see where your mistakes come, and I will try to find you the solution for it, because you don't have too much space. Your time of decision against your opponents is totally different. So you have to anticipate your decision. You have to approach your reception different, and it's just that detail that can make the difference. Look at trying to find it, but Fabio is not the same player as when he joined us. Vitinha is not. Pedro Neto is not the same player. Pedro was having a huge season. Huge. He was doing amazing. But he was not the same. He made mistakes last season that you can see. And trying to find that detail is what we are obsessed of with our young players. And always in a positive way. Feeling that we are side by side with them.
That's all. It's really interesting. Thank you.
Hi, Nuno. I suppose, Nuno, we're roughly a month out now from the European Championships. And I suppose, have there been many players within your squad maybe knocking at your door in the last week or so, asking for game time on the fringes of making their international squad, hoping to get game time to make the cut for their international team? Have you found that in the last week or two?
I don't quite understand what you said. I'm sorry, but I get. Yes, we're gonna have a lot of players involved in national teams, and that was also one aspect that we must consider. Due to the season that we have, the moment that the season that we have, that we are knowing what the players still have to perform and be involved in huge competitions. We have to manage well. We want our players to go, but we want them to go ready to perform well, not to arrive at those decisive moments with any problems.
And I suppose, Nuno, I was at Mikel Arteta's press conference there this morning, and he was talking about at the hectic rigors of the season and having to take time off and to recuperate. But as a manager yourself, with the European Championships around the corner, are you obviously having one eye on that and hoping to find new talent, discover new talent to come about? And can you really switch off with such a major tournament around the corner? Are you looking for the next Andrei Arshavin that came to light with Russia or someone like that you can come in and snap before suitors take him?
Yes. We never switch off. Nobody switch off, especially when you know that's going to be competitions during the summer. But I truly believe that we're not going to find there something that nobody is been aware of. It's not there when you find the Arshavins or those players that nobody knows. It's not there. This kind of scouting is made behind the scenes with a lot of information, a lot of people traveling to different countries. This is where you find talents that nobody has detected before.
And I suppose, Nuno, lastly for me, each year the competition in the Premier League is getting stronger and stronger. And we see now for next year that Norwich are going to be back up, Watford are going to be back up, and then obviously the playoff situation. So you think each year the standard is rising, that the teams that are coming up from the Championship are more equipped year on, year out to compete? They're getting stronger. It's not a case of teams coming up to the Premiership anymore and going straight back down?
Yes, I don't know. Yes, I think so. You make such difficult questions, Jim. What I see is that the Premier League is the more competitive competition around. I think in general terms, all the teams are really, really talented squads, very good squads. And to come out from the Championship and being able to sustain in the Premier League, we have to do things really well. And we have cases of many teams doing well. I think the Championship gives you a very good foundation to compete well in the Premier League, honestly, and I truly believe on that. If you prepare yourself and anticipate what you're going to find, it's going to be better. But I see, like you say, year after year is more talent, better years, more difficult, more complex.
Nuno, that's the last of the difficult questions. I'll let you go.
Sorry.
Simon.
Hi, Nuno. I'm sorry to bring you back to Raul. I don't know whether the club will update everybody when you get the results, but is it just physical things that is being discussed today? Mentally, do you think he's okay to come back, that it won't be a problem for him?
We have, if you allow me, we have a lot of boxes to tick. There's a lot of things that you have to, after today, look and decide. He has to do an MRI, he has to do a scan, he has to do psychological tests, he has to first start impacting the ball with the head after all these things. So there's still a lot of things that we must consider before we decide on Raul. But the meeting is now. When we have all the information, we will sit down and we carefully look at what to do and how to do it.
Just to be at this point, I mean, given the severity of what happened and the shock when it did happen, it must at least make you feel more that he's going to come back.
It makes me very happy, honestly. After all that we've been through, especially Raul, after all that in his family, to see him so much closer to play again, it's really good news. It's really good news.
Thank you.
After what happened and what it meant for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Lovely. Let's turn the cameras off now, please.